Johnny. Johnny. We have work to do.
I think you hit up the wrong call sign, homie. This is the guy from the YouTube timeline.
Exactly. You're just the Vanjik I need for this problem. The multiverse has been breached.
How am I the Vanjik for this problem? Call Fallout Boy or something. Or the Orphan. They literally deal with these problems on a weekly basis.
Yes, however, this matter relates to Star Wars.
What? Are you kidding me? Literally get the Star Wars Vanjik to deal with this.
Not so fast. This breach happened in your timeline under your watch.
How can this matter relate to Star Wars, but the breach happened in my timeline? You're confusing the heck out of me right now, man. Okay, like, which universe's problem is this again?
It's yours. In every timeline where Star Wars, either as a physical universe or as a popular story, so happens to exist, every Vanjik is responsible in their timeline, if Star Wars exists in that timeline, is to make sure the story of Scoundrel Caves is to never occur. And you, Vanjik, let that happen in your timeline.
Wait. Caves? That stupid video game Star Wars Outlaws? Oh my god, I mean, yeah, I've tried it. It's mid, like, I don't know if it's like video worthy though, or if it actually breaks the multiverse. Like, what's the worst that's ever happened in a timeline where Caves exists anyway?
That's exactly what the Vanjik of the Scoundrel Caves timeline said.
Okay. Real funny, VCSN, real funny. There's not actually a Scoundrel Caves timeline, is there? VCSN? Hello? Oh, fuck me. You know, it's quite amazing. For a video game that has a main character that feels so much like a lesbian, I have never seen a video game that has insulted my mother so heavily in my life. This game is honestly some of the lowest of the low I've ever played. And maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, because truth be told, this is the most painfully average thing I have ever touched in my life. Most painfully average. I know I've said that about a lot of things on this channel, but I'm just coming to realize we're coming to a trend in video games here where we keep hitting these, not even 7 out of 10s. 7 out of 10 implies it's slightly above average and is worth playing. These, like, 5 out of 10 games that are, like, not exactly dog tier water, you know, not exactly dog water, and not exactly, great. And somehow, someway, once again, Ubisoft has released their 10th game like this in a row. We might be on the 12th, I don't know, I've lost track after this point. This is about when I've clocked out of paying attention to Ubisoft super heavily. But you know, I'm a bit of a Star Wars guy. I love me some good old TIE fighters and X-Wings and stuff like that. And you know, I was very much into the original trilogy when I was a little kid because my parents had the old VHSs, and yeah, I know, my parents didn't update shit, so I was stuck with those VHSs for a while, and then later on I would find the VHSs for, like, the prequels and all that, and yeah, I've always loved Star Wars, and, you know, despite my current feeling like Ubisoft doesn't do anything but 5 out of 10 level games right now, I'm like, hey, you know what, maybe this could be the thing. Maybe this could be the saving grace, Ubisoft. You know, maybe this could be maybe you'll have me roped back in on this one. You know, I haven't felt a high like this since Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered came out. But unlike Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, which was a fix of a game that really needed a lot of fixes, I don't think it can fix this crap, Chief. In fact, I think if you were to go about fixing this, throw the game out and just play Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. If you want to experience true Star Wars Outlaws, just open up the 2 EA games. Surprisingly enough, I don't know how this happened, yeah. It's amazing the feats we've gone to in this space year of 2024, but EA's taking ahead of Ubisoft, man. Good job, EA. You know what? You've given us actual good Star Wars games, actually, over the past few years, now that I'm thinking about it, you know? Because at least in those games, I actually felt like an outlaw. And it's not because I was a fucking Jedi, but, you know, actually being on the run, feeling like the run has consequences, feeling like there's stakes. Yeah, you know, the things that usually make an outlaw story good. It's in those games. Ubisoft should try copying it. In fact, dare I say this, because while it's kind of funny because the EA games actually do set out to do what the Ubisoft games set out to do, and the Ubisoft game failed at it, but the EA games do it really well, which is playing a game where you actually feel like an outlaw in the Star Wars universe. I'm sorry, I need a moment. But yeah, like I was saying, it's kind of funny how the EA games do what this game tried to do, but this game failed, and those games do the outlaw shtick well, despite it actually being the secondary trend. Because it's like, it's obvious Ubisoft tried to copy a lot of it, because I shit you not, for a game where quote unquote here, whatever your copy pasta is, we don't want Jedi in this game. Yet I feel like I'm playing a game where I'm a Jedi without a lightsaber. Like, for a scoundrel outlaw character, supposedly, who is supposed to have this, moral dilemma, so to speak. There's not a whole lot of moral dilemma. There's not a whole lot of man being on the run, doing these crimes, living this life. Maybe I should get out, you know. They have a moment or two where the character's like, yeah, maybe I should get out of this life, man, but it's like, it's not really there. It's not there. But the other games, made by what I used to consider the shittier company, now I consider the better company, but that doesn't mean a whole lot considering the two groups we're talking about here. It's amazing because the Jedi character has more moral dilemmas. Yeah, Padawan, my bad. The Jedi Padawan character, who goes on to become a Jedi Knight, basically, through the course of the two games, he has more moral dilemmas. He has more scoundrel moments. He has more, man, living this life, being on the run, being like this, I should get out. He has more moments like this. The second game is all about that, actually, which is, and actually the first game is a lot like that, and I don't get it. Like, for a game that is very clearly copying another game's formula and trying to make an open world spin on it and doing it horribly, which, by the way, Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor were already open world enough. Like, both games. Like, all things considered, as far as the Star Wars universe games go, those were pretty open world. Like, I'm not joking here. Outside of the Star Wars Lego games, I genuinely can't think of a games other than Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor that had pretty good semi-open worlds going on. The most open worlds we've ever had in a Star Wars game. And, yeah, I'm looking at some of my footage on the big screen right now, and, yeah, just, yeah. It exists. It's a thing, but really, this is what we're getting for our open world Star Wars game, where I have full freedom, almost, and multiple choice. Yeah, there's no multiple choice. I can't even go and make a gimmick out of that. For a game. Yeah, hear me out here, open world Choose the missions as you go. Take bounties as you go. Go off into space and do stuff as you will, as a scoundrel. There's no multiple choice. There's not. There's really not. Your choices are get paid for this and lose loyalty for that guy, or get paid from that guy and lose loyalty with this guy. That's all your choices are. And they have one moment in the game where you actually think you have to make a really big choice, and it's like involving the side character Nyx, who's like your little companion. This ain't really a spoiler or anything. This happens in all games where you have a companion and you know this will happen eventually. You have a moment where you get separated from Nyx and you think you're gonna have to make this really big call, man, and no. The game makes the call for you. Like, they build it up like you might have to deal with so-and-so and so-and-so this and so-and-so that. There's gonna be some weight to this, and the game handles the weight for you. The game handles the fucking weight for you. And on top of that, for being a scoundrel, an outlaw, a horrible person, why am I only stealing from police? What? What? Why am I only stealing from police? I really want to say something here, but I probably shouldn't, but I'm just gonna I'm gonna give the lighter version of what I want to say. Yeah, I don't think actual people in real life really make those moments of moral quandaries when they're going off trying to survive as a hardliner, you know. What? Nobody thinks like that. Look, if I'm worried about getting food in my stomach, I'm sorry. I genuinely am. But if I'm to that point, I don't think I'm gonna care who it is. Like, literally, unless you are some disabled guy with both your legs missing, I'm not gonna think twice about it, man. I'm going for survival mode. I don't feel bad saying this. I do feel bad, but I don't at the same time. You know, it's like you have to be pretty far beneath me for me to actually feel bad when it comes to survival mode. And that's just me being realistic here. I feel like a lot of people would have similar things to say. You know, if it really came balls to the wall and you had to do it to make it, a lot of these guys would do it to make it, let's face it. Most of us would get caught. I would get caught, you would get caught, everyone would get caught, let's be honest here. But it's like, in the game logic here, why am I only stealing from stormtroopers? Why am I only stealing from cops? Why am I only stealing from other criminals? Am I Spider-Man of the criminals now for Star Wars? Is that what's going on here? Am I Miles Morales of the Spider-Man? Am I Miles Morales of the Star Wars universe right now? Is that what's going on here? Am I Gwen Stacy of the Star Wars universe right now? Am I fucking Carnage of the Star Wars? Actually, that would be cool. Carnage in Star Wars would actually be a good game. But you get what I'm saying here. Why am I playing vigilante superhero in an outlaw game that takes place around a whole galaxy? Who's gonna care? Who? It's a whole galaxy. Like for references here, United States of America, look at how often a lot of criminal cases actually get missed and overlooked. It's a surprising number. So just based off the fact we're one singular landmass, one singular country, and we have such high percentage rates of people nabbing from one another and it getting missed in the courts and all that shit and then the reporting, who's gonna care in a galaxy? Who? I feel like I'm losing my mind here. Who would care? Who? Please answer me in the comments below, because I can't answer it for you. I don't have a damn clue who would care. The stormtroopers who we're gonna kill anyway throughout the whole game? Oh, I'm sorry. Off in a digital manner. That's in a video game. Well, it is a video game. We're talking about a video game the whole time, but I gotta make it friendly for you. You get what I'm saying? Or the other syndicate members who we like are gonna off anyway? Why can't we just off the normal people in the game? Tell me, Ubisoft, why can't I do it? I can do it in the Assassin's Creed games. You punish me for it, but I can still do it. Why can I do it in Assassin's Creed, but not this? Ancestor, here, let me quote the series, in the Animus, they'll have this thing after you kill like 2 or 3 ancestors, or it's like 1 or 2 or whatever. I mean, not ancestors, normal civilians, I'm sorry, normal civilians. When you kill normal civilians in the Animus in this game, after 1 or 2, it gives you a warning. This ancestor did not kill civilians or domestic animals. Desynchronization is imminent. This game is that, but with that removed, and you can't desynchronize. You don't even get a choice. You can't even do it on accident. I've tried. Believe me, I've tried. I think I spent my first hour in game. Well, after I got past the basic tutorial stuff, I think I spent my first hour trying to figure out just how to kill a normal person because I thought I was going nuts. I genuinely thought I was going nuts. Because, you know, if I could do it in these games, and we usually get a warning or 2, in a game where I'm supposed to be an outlaw, it shouldn't really matter. I should just be boom, 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 boom. We all started blasting, right? No, there's no blasting. You walk into a city, you holster your weapon. I kid you not. You walk into a city and you holster your weapon, and you don't have the choice to ever draw it out. Lovely line of thinking, Ubisoft. What city does that work in? Anywhere around the world? Oh yeah, none of them. No city, no town, no district, no borough, no county. Like, I don't care where you are in the world. I don't care what your current technological status for your country is. I don't care. All cities, all towns, all residences in a collective, on a street, you get the picture, right? When you put people in mass, people will pull out the iron for the hell of it. Sometimes without even a reason for the hell of it. You get what I'm saying here? You know, outlaw stuff. Outlaw stuff. Ubisoft, outlaw stuff. If people are willing to do it in our quote-unquote more civilized age, to quote Obi-Wan fucking Kenobi, why can't I do it in the age of an empire, which is a much less civilized age? You're telling me you couldn't even look up one quote from fucking Star Wars before making a decision on how mechanics work? This is literally the less civilized age. To quote Ben Kenobi, when he's holding the lightsaber out in front of Luke explaining it, a weapon from a far more civilized age. Implying this is the less civilized age. Yes, it's during the Empire and all that too, which makes it worse. Literally the biggest outlaw era in Star Wars ever. Okay, maybe the pre-Old Republic days with the Rakan and all that stuff you could debate was the true biggest outlaw era. I don't want to go that far down into the lore rabbit hole right now. But in terms of basic lore, you know, main trilogy, prequels, sequels, you know, this is the most uncivilized age in the trifecta of canon we have going on here. Why can't I pull out my weapon and start shooting up a city in the less civilized age? It did happen. It did happen. We actually I know I said I shouldn't go into extended lore for this, but I'm going to go extended lore anyway. There are literal comics. There are literal books. We have literal micro cartoon episodes and stuff like showing this. We've seen how uncivilized the Galactic Empire era is. Cities were getting shot out. Not just by the Empire, but by outlaws. Actually, I think this was shown in both the Book of Boba Fett, actually 3 different things. We saw this in semi-recently. Book of Boba Fett, Rogue One, Mandalorian. We saw that stuff so many times. Yeah. Yeah. Am I right? Yeah. And you know, I haven't even talked about the quest looping yet. You want to know what this lovely quest loop system is? Well, we don't need to talk about the main quest, I promise you. If I talk about the main quest, we're gonna be here all damn day. You just want to know what the basic system for everything that isn't the main story. Here, I'll let you know. Come a little bit closer. Come a little bit closer to Uncle Johnny. Uncle Johnny's got to tell you something. You remember Skyrim? You remember Skyrim? Okay. So you remember how in Skyrim, every once in a while, it felt like you've been in this dungeon before, but you know, it was a different dungeon, but you know, the dungeon was remapped so well and redone, you couldn't tell it was actually basically a Radiant quest in disguise. And then you know how we got into a Fallout 4, and those were just Radiant quests, but without disguises. Placing those two games as examples, what do you think Ubisoft did? Do you think they went the Skyrim route where you can hardly tell, or do you think they went the Fallout 4 route where it's obvious? Yeah, I don't even think I need to tell you. They went the Fallout 4 route. Yeah. They went the Fallout 4 route. Sucks, right? Thank you, Bethesda, for being the side bitch in this video. Yeah. Really bad designs for everything. I think the only thing I'm willing to forgive about this game at all is Nyx. I literally can't be angry at that little thing. Like, I think Nyx is the only thing I'm willing to forgive about this game. And that brings us to the worst part. How is this still a 5 out of 10 for me? Well, that's the worst part. They unfortunately hit all the baseline standards for a game. Like, I mean, that's just me talking about what's bad. It doesn't make sense about it. It's a game. It works. It functions. 5 out of 10 because everything about it that would potentially draw you in is garbage. You know, honestly, I think there's one way you could save this game. All jokes aside, I think there's one way you can save this game. Issue everybody refunds, liquidate all stock, and reopen as Boobysoft. Good day, everyone.